Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Luna, and today we are diving into Glamour Magick. So this is something that is going to become a series here on my channel. There are so many different ways you can incorporate Glamour Magick into your life. And I mean, that goes from like makeup to jewelry to skincare and like tons of other stuff. But today we're going to focus specifically on fashion and clothing. And I do plan on touching on those other topics in later videos in this series. So if you like this, make sure to subscribe, like, hit your notification bell so that you don't miss those in the future. And also on Patreon, I thought a little fun thing. If you guys don't know, I do Patreon and they get tons of exclusive goodies. There's a live Q&A with me every month. There is tarot readings, early access. There are exclusive content, bonus vlogs and stuff like that. And I decided to also do like weekly motivations in tandem with the Glamour Magick. So just further tips and journal prompts and whatnot to really get you thinking about Glamour Magick, kind of reminding you and keeping it fresh on your mind. So if you're interested in that, I have 3 different tiers on Patreon for everyone. So go ahead and join if you want to. And other than that, let's just go ahead and get started. So what is Glamour Magick? What is it? You might be like, what? Like if you're not a witch, you might be like, what are you talking about, Luna? I talk about this a lot. Glamour Magick, I've heard a couple of different things. This is my definition. I wrote it down so that I would get it right. Glamour Magick is the use of intention and magic to create a desired effect via your appearance, okay? And I was reading a book one time and it was like, you know, some people frown on Glamour Magick because it's like vain and like changing people's opinions of you, and it's like you're wearing a disguise. And I'm like, that is so wrong in my opinion. Glamour Magick should not be inflicting thought upon another person. Like, you shouldn't do Glamour Magick with the intention of, you know, people are gonna think I'm cool or people are gonna think I'm confident. Like with any like affirmations or manifestations, that is not the right verbiage or intention to use. You want to be doing this to invoke something within yourself, because at the end of the day, and with your self-love journey and your divine feminine journey, what other people think of you will not matter if you do not think that about yourself, okay? So the number one thing is that you are doing this for yourself. So it is more, I am confident, I am strong, these shoes pave the way for me to be a bad bitch, you know what I mean? Okay, so it's not, you're not even thinking about others, okay? That shouldn't be a thought in your mind. So if that's something you're thinking about or struggling with, definitely like work on getting into a different mindset of, this is for myself, this is, because at the end of the day, this is your life. This is not, I want other people to think I'm this or whatever. That's not the right way to go. In my opinion, I think it is just so much better if it is for yourself, because it's your experience. You're not experiencing what other people are experiencing, right? And at the end of the day, if you do this and you're like, I am confident, I am strong, I am, you know, professional, whatever it is you're trying to invoke within yourself, that is going to, as affirmations and manifestations do, it's going to manifest, and other people are going to see that, okay? So if you believe it, then it'll be so much more apparent to other people. And then like double win, right? People will respect you or whatever. And you know, at the end of the day, sorry, I'm rambling. At the end of the day though, what people think is a reflection of themselves. But if you make yourself a powerful enough aura, then like, it doesn't matter what other people think. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the different approaches to fashion within Glamour Magick. So like, what do you want to achieve? Like, what are you doing this for? So the first thing is to get more in touch with your astrological sign or the current zodiac season, or even if there's something like Venus just entered Leo a couple of days ago, and I took that opportunity to really glam myself out and just be a little bit like of a Leo for a moment, just be a little bit confident and allow myself an extra hour to get ready so that I can make it a whole event. Do you know what I mean? And in each of my astrological season breakdowns, so I will link those down below as well. They're in my playlist on my channel. I go through a whole Glamour Magick section within that video. So if any of those are one of your big 3, or, you know, currently we're in Cancer season, go ahead and watch that, because that'll be really beneficial if you're struggling. Like if we're in a season that you're not super familiar with, we're coming up on Leo season, which will be really fun. But it'll help you get some insight onto what might make you feel more in touch with that sign. And likewise, if it's one of your big three and you're learning about that, that'll be very beneficial. Another reason you might want to incorporate Glamour Magick is to honor a deity. So I do this because I work with Freya, who is the goddess of love and beauty, so that works out. So especially on Fridays, which I'll get to in a second, but for background, Fridays are ruled by Venus. They're named after Freya. They're Freya's day, so it's the day of love and beauty. So especially on Fridays, I make it a point to wear pink, to really amp up my feminine, to really just like take time, even if I'm busy, to put something on that makes me feel sexy and makes me feel connected to my divine feminine and to my inner beauty and everything. So if you have other deities though, you know, you can go with the themes of them, what they represent, and kind of just take it from there. Similarly, like I just said, if you don't know, and I do plan on either writing an ebook or doing a whole video on this, each day has a ruling planet. So for example, Monday comes from Moon Day, so ruled by the moon, Tuesday is Mars, Wednesday is Mercury, so etc. It just goes on, and so each day is ruled by a planet. And you can take that. I did this for like a week straight, and I actually have a TikTok and I think a reel up on Monday for the moon, like some things you can incorporate. So taking that time to be like, okay, today, right now, this is funny. Today is Tuesday, so it's ruled by Mars. So I'm wearing red because that is one of the colors of Mars. Mars is also associated with Aries and Scorpio, so that same kind of energy, so passion, sexuality. So of course I'm wearing my cute little red crochet top because I wear this a lot on Tuesdays. It makes me feel very connected to that Mars energy. And it kind of is just that subconscious reminder to yourself to really take advantage of the energy presented today. So that's another thing. You could also use Glamour Magick to incorporate a specific element if you're really wanting to get in touch with the element of earth or fire or water, air, whatever. You can take your own thoughts on what reminds you of that element and kind of go with that. I specifically have a pair of pants that are so flowy that they just feel so earthy and airy to me. So if I'm ever trying to really ground myself in the earth element, I'll put those pants on and a really comfy top, and I'll just go sit and have a picnic. So I mean, it's totally up to your interpretation, but that's just an example of how I do that. And lastly, and I think probably most commonly, is to invoke a specific power or energy. So this is what we're mainly going to be focusing on because the rest is kind of self-explanatory, but this is very kind of like adaptable. Like you can kind of take this and go with it as you will because it is going to be different for everybody. So say you are going into a job interview and you really you want to feel like you got this. You want to feel professional. You want to feel like you're going to be in the right state of mind. You're going to be organized. So how does that look to you? So really you're going to break it down. So you're going to decide, what am I doing Glamour Magick for? And if it's for a job interview or whatever, you're going to think of what you want to feel. Do you want to be confident? Do you want to be sexy? Do you want to be grounded? Do you want to be hippie vibes? Like whatever. And then sit for a bit, you can journal, think about what that looks like. And this might be harder for others. I'm a pretty visual person, so I kind of attribute colors and things to people and feelings regardless, but it might be harder for some people, but you definitely can do it. So you'll kind of just figure out what that looks like and feels like to you. Don't get trapped in just colors or just textures or just clothing pieces. Really think about textures and movements and how it feels when it's on, because something can look super nice and flowy but feel so restraining. And how you feel is, I would say, more important than how you look, okay? Both obviously matter because how you look, you're going to see that and that's going to affect you. But how you feel, you can't be like wearing something that feels so restrictive or doesn't feel like it covers enough if that makes you uncomfortable and then feel confident in that. Do you know what I mean? So that is a huge thing, okay? I think a lot of us in modern society, we say, oh, this is what's sexy on this person, or this is what's in, so I'm gonna have to wear that and I'll just figure it out. And that's so counterproductive, in my opinion. I used to like wear crazy things and big push-up bras and tight things, and no hate to anybody who does that because you know, that is amazing for some people, but for me, I felt so confined, and I already have like nerves about being confined or crowded, and so that was not helpful for me. So it is different for everyone, and I'll get into that a bit later, but just something to think about, really think about how that's gonna feel. Okay, so let's move on, kind of piggybacking off of what I just said, some approaches to Glamour Magick. So if you're like, okay, cool, I got this, I know what I want to do, but like, how do I implement that into my practice? So the first thing, and I think something that is very present in my Glamour Magick, is color magic, color theory, whatever you want to call it. The fact that we as humans attribute specific feelings and thoughts and attributes to colors, okay? It's just inherent. It's just inherent. And also, if you're someone who works with chakras or auras, this can be really great too. You can kind of combine those practices. Also, if your like root chakra is out of whack or your throat chakra is out of whack, you can wear corresponding colors and it'll just subconsciously remind you to really be working on that, and theoretically it'll bring that energy out in you already. So that's exciting. But color magic. So think about, this is a fun little journal prompt, if you will. What colors make you feel powerful? What colors make you feel confident? What colors make you like feel like you're ready to like just rule the world, right? So it's gonna be different for everybody, and some things just like won't jive with you. I don't wear a whole lot of white, and I don't know why, and it's nothing against it. You know, I just like, I don't love it on me. It doesn't really evoke anything, but reds, blacks, blues, purples, those all really make me feel specific ways that I like. And even greens I've been getting really more into, which probably has to do with me getting more earthy and whatnot. But yeah, so really take some time to think about what specific colors bring out for you. And obviously you can look at like what is, you know, what people say color magic is for, but I always say like, yes, you can read the correspondence and think about what works for like the collective, but also do like take in mind what works for you. For example, I said I don't like white. A lot of people attribute white to spirituality and ascension. I personally attribute purple to that. So when I'm doing spiritual work or I'm in a heavy like tarot day or something, white doesn't do it for me. I need like mystical colors like blacks and purples. And that's just me. Again, no right or wrong way. It's more just kind of learning what feels good for you. Kind of with comfortability, textures, okay? I don't know about you guys. Are you guys weird about textures? I'm so weird about textures. I'm so weird about textures. And this is probably my Taurus rising. I have to have things that feel soft and comfortable and non-restrictive again, but that might not be the case for you, and that's totally fine as well. But think about how textures move. So for example, this crochet top, for me, and I don't know where this is coming from in my subconscious, but for me, crochet feels earthy. Am I right? Doesn't it feel earthy? And I think it's because it's commonly made, like handmade, and I think that being made by humans is inherently an earth thing, I guess. So it feels earthy. Whereas flowy things or silky things, flowy feels like air, silky feels like water. Fire, I don't really guess I have a specific texture for fire. But you know, just specific things that I attribute to specific elements. So if I'm wanting to work with elements, that's something I would take into account. Also, if you're working with zodiac signs, obviously you can incorporate the elements of that sign into your Glamour Magick. And also just the vibe that you're going for. So, you know, comfortability, like soft suedes, fluffy things, flowy things, that just feels right to me. I like that a lot. But then again, this is something that might surprise you with all I've said about comfortability. Leather? You guys, leather makes me feel like the baddest bitch in the world. I'm not even joking. This is so funny. Ever since high school, I've begged my mom to let me buy some like black leather shorts, and she was like, no. And so when I grew up, I bought my own. And I have just so many of those like faux leathers. I'll show you right now, actually. These are one of the shoes I wear when I'm trying to embody my bad bitch energy. This is excessive. And usually I'm like flowy and hippie, but this brings out a different side of Luna, let me tell you. So, you know, it's all different for everyone. And it's totally fine to change and to have different things for, you know, different things. Another super important aspect to work with is nostalgia or heirlooms. So if you have something that was passed down by your mother or your father or any family member that feels very special to you, that can be very important in Glamour Magick, just in making you feel safe and making you feel authentic. I talked about this in my Cancer season video because this is a huge thing with the sign of Cancer, just being so like maternal and whatnot. So I said that you should incorporate some like passed down things from your like mother or your maternal side. And my mom has these pair of chopsticks that she used to wear, and I stole them from her because she stopped wearing them. So I wear those in my hair all the time when I'm wanting to just feel at home and at peace in myself. And this can go also for cultural things. If you want to research where you come from, your heritage, your bloodline, see what types of things were used, you know, way back when, and you can kind of incorporate that, and it really just does make you feel more at home. And of course, pieces that you already know make you feel specific ways, like confident or comfortable or etc., those are great to incorporate because you already know that's how they make you feel, so you can just continue to use that. And finally, inspiration pieces, so taking inspiration from specific things. Obviously, you can look on like Pinterest at your favorite celebrities and what they wear, or just, you know, inspiration pics. I have like a mood board and I see people wearing cute things and I'm like, ooh, that sparks something in me. And so, you know, then I pursue that a bit more. But even you can take inspiration from the earth and from things you see in nature and dreams you have, you know what I mean? So you can get a little hippie with it. So now I want to share with you guys my go-to weekly Glamour Magick, how I incorporate specific things into things that I do during the week. So for connecting with the elements, like I said, I have this pair of flowy beige pants that I wear whenever I'm doing yoga, or if I'm wanting to feel very connected to the earth or to air or water. I don't know, these feel so connected to those elements. They're so comfortable, but they cinch at my waist, and that's something, okay, that's my mix of comfortability and sexiness, because it makes me feel cinched, but it's everywhere else it's flowy, my legs are free, it's amazing. My crochet crop tops, like I said with this one that I'm wearing, I have a couple more and they make me feel so connected to earth and to my body. I like that they're a little bit more, like, I feel free. I'm not a very modest person just by nature, and that's fine if that's also how you feel. You can definitely take that into your Glamour Magick and your feminine. I just like it. I love the way it feels. It's comfortable. I can move. I don't feel restricted. So that's a staple. I wear these so often. I also have a pair of Birkenstocks that were like such a huge thing for me when I finally got to buy them, and those make me feel so connected to earth because I can just, first of all, they're super comfortable. I love wearing them on walks, and also I can just slip them off and go walking, but I just really like this suede material, and it just makes me feel very connected to the earth. And I also like to incorporate flowy dresses because this again just makes me feel like I can kind of flow with the wind. I'm comfortable, but I'm still looking cute. I feel connected to nature, I feel a bit like a goddess, and so that is kind of a staple. For what I'm gonna call daily enchantment, this is my go-to, day to day. I'm not doing much, I'm not really preparing much, but I still want to use some Glamour Magick. My go-to vibe is comfy but cute, okay? So like I said, I like to be able to move freely. I do yoga every day, so I don't like changing clothes a whole bunch of times, but I do want to be cute in case I decide to go out and do something and want to look good. So for me, rompers have been such a lifesaver because they're so cute. It's just one piece, you don't have to worry about it. The ones I have are very flowy and soft, and I still feel like I'm really put together looking. Same with soft shorts. These that I'm wearing right now are one of my staple pieces, especially with this crop top because it matches so well. And they have these really cute, like, I don't know what these are called, little like white tassel things. They're so soft and so silky and free, and they make my butt look really cute, so that is something that I love. And again, flowy dresses have been such a thing. I do usually tend to go more towards rompers just because I gotta do my yoga, and I'm not great at, like, being ladylike sometimes. So sometimes dresses are not the go-to, but if I am, gonna be a bit more busy, not really being at home, then I'll put on a nice, comfortable, soft dress. I kind of already touched on this, but for my bad bee energy, those heels are my lifesaver. I love leather, I love black. Black and red are my go-tos when it comes to bad bitch energy. I feel so confident in black, like I feel so good. And I think that's probably from the overall protective vibe of black. If you think of obsidian, All of the black crystals are protective stones, and that's kind of how I feel in black. I'm like, I'm a bad bitch, I'm protected. Like, I can do anything. So that is a big bad bitch energy color for me. I'm really like good for like ripped jeans because I feel a little edgy. I like going a little bit edgy when it comes to that. I like fishnets and stuff like that. And I do go a little bit more scandalous. I have a nice cute tight dress I wore. And it was just, yeah, it feels good. When I'm wanting to go for strong professional woman, I'm a sucker for blazers. I think they look so good. And here's an example of inspiration. My inspiration for this specific vibe, this is so specific, from Blake Lively in A Simple Favor. And one time I wore this to an audition, something like this, and one of my friends was like, oh my god, you look like Blake Lively from A Simple Favor. And I was like, ah, that's the goal. That's the goal. So that is the goal, truly. And you know, so my vibe is either a matching set, a blazer and fancy shorts with a cute kind of sexy undershirt, or, you know, those fancy straight pants and a cute shirt with it. And of course heels. I like a simple black heel for that. And that just makes me feel professional but strong, and also like I'm not going to tone down like my femininity and my sexuality, and I can still be both professional and, you know, feminine. So that's the vibe. And finally, for sacred times, like I said, I go for very mystical. So I'm gonna vibe with purples, with blacks. I have this pair of pants and they are purple and they have little like bells on the drawstring and they have sun, and it's just so pretty. And like as soon as I put it on, I'm like, let's go do some witchcraft, like let's go do some spooky stuff. And so that is what that is for me. I did want to leave you guys with some lasting tips on how to incorporate Glamour Magick into your daily life. So maybe you're not out of the broom closet, maybe you live with roommates, and maybe you just like want to further it more. I think this is a great way to, you know, use your craft very practically. So one of the things I like to do is spray my clothes with sage spray or perfume that like evokes a specific feeling from me. I like to use my sage spray kind of as a protection and kind of a cleanser. So if I had a bad day at work, or if I just had a bad time, or I'm going to be around people that make me feel a certain way, then I'll give myself a good spray all over. I also have a couple of essential oil perfumes that just make me feel so enchanted, and it makes me feel so in touch with my inner goddess, with my divine feminine, and I just feel like so ready and like so prepared. So, you know, it's really going to be finding what scents speak to you. Another thing that I've recently started to do that I really, really enjoy, and it makes so much sense. So as you are going to wash your clothes or do your laundry, you can go ahead and bless your clothes and energetically clean them like as you wash them physically. And like this is so like a no-brainer to me, because every time I take a shower or a bath or whatever, I use my scrub and I'm energetically cleansing myself as I'm like physically cleaning myself, and so it makes sense to do this with your clothes. So you can literally, this is so funny, but you can literally just like bless your laundry pod or pour your laundry detergent in a clockwise motion as you're invoking specific energies like protection or prosperity. You can also just say a little prayer over your clothes, and then as you turn on the washer, you can just imagine the water cleaning them and energetically cleaning them because you blessed it. And if you hand wash your clothes, even better. You know what I mean? That's even better because you're physically doing it. You can also, this is fun, you can also leave a little clear quartz or a specific crystal on your clothes the night before if you lay your clothes out, or you can keep a crystal in your closet or in your drawer, or if you are like me and you wash your clothes and then you leave them in the hamper for too long, like a day or so, you can just like toss in a quartz and be like, okay, we're gonna get back to that, and let it kind of clear that energetically, and also kind of just bless it. So if you want to like infuse your crystal with some sort of manifestation or affirmation, you can do that and then set it in there with your clothes so that it'll kind of infuse that. One lasting thing is I always paint my nails on the night of the full moon. I usually like to correspond the color to whatever, you know, sign we're in or whatever energy I'm trying to invoke. I just think this is such a beautiful routine, and it kind of just reminds you to take some time for yourself and pamper yourself and you know, have a good time. And if you're invoking, I know I'm saying invoking a million times, but if you're putting that energy into your nail polish and You're gonna paint your nails red so you can remind yourself of your sexuality and your confidence. Every time you look at your feet, you're going to subconsciously think about that. And so you guys know that's what I did. I don't know if you can see my toes, but yes, red nail polish because I'm a bad bitch. I'm a goddess, so that's the energy we're going for. So the last things that I want to leave you with is just a reminder that this is going to be so different for everybody. These are my tips, these are the things that have worked for me. I encourage you to try the ones that speak to you and to also just take, if anything inspires you or if anything sparks an idea, go with that and see how that works for you because it really is going to be different for everybody. And likewise, I know I mentioned that I like to be free and flowing, and I talked about this in my Divine Feminine video, which you should definitely watch as well. I don't like to wear a whole lot of clothes. I like to be free. I like to be, you know, feel my skin and it makes me feel very grounded, but I do understand that a lot of people might feel more comfortable with modesty, and that is just as valid. So I just want you to know, like, we're not here to hate on anybody, so if you want to be modest, if you want to be more showy, like, both are perfect, both are good. So just don't hate other people, don't be rude to other people. You know, if you're a modest person and you see someone showing their tits, just let them be. Like, let them be, that's fine. And vice versa. Like, I'm not gonna hate on anybody who wants to cover up. Like, that is not my body to control. So just a reminder to keep that positive mindset and to have the confidence. If you want to be more showy, don't worry about what other people think. I definitely had that growing up. I was, you know, used to the whole, like, if you dress a certain way, people will look down on you or whatever. And when I grew up, I kind of just was like, I don't really care. If someone looks down on me because they can see my nipples through a shirt or they can see my shoulders, like, that's on them. Like, that probably is some shadow work they need to do because that's really not healthy, but that's also not my problem. So cheers, best of luck to them. Do you know what I mean? So don't worry about what other people are thinking. And I highly recommend journaling and continuing your self-discovery to figure out what your inner goddess looks like. And again, I will link that video down below because I think that's a very valuable video if you're getting into Glamour Magic. So that is all from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all. Do make sure to subscribe to my Patreon if you want more Glamour Magic goodies. And subscribe to my channel and put that notification bell on so you don't miss any more of these. I love you all so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!